Welcome to Entrepreneurs and Fuego show, where entrepreneurs get naked. So you didn't know that?
I did not.
Yeah, well, they get naked emotionally, my brother. We're right here at the office pilot, 2501 North 7th Street, here in beautiful Phoenix. And this is a co-working space. And what we do here in the show, Ivan, thank you for accepting our invitation to be our guest today. What we do here at the show is we try to find out what makes you tick. Because you're an entrepreneur, we want to find out a little bit more about you. And having said that, tell us a little bit more about you.
My name is Ivan Jones, and I'm the owner and operator of Catalyst Photography. We are a full-service photography company, and we specialize more towards just about anything that has to do from a people standpoint, even though we will do like some landscape photography, but most anything surrounding like weddings, events, birthday parties, maternity, newborn.
Whoa, maternity.
Maternity, anywhere from, pregnancy photos to right after like delivery to right into infancy.
Wait, delivery? You shoot delivery photos? So
we do.
So my wife is getting ready to give birth, and I call Ivan. Hey, Ivan, bring in your photo equipment and start shooting the birthing? Is that what it is? Is that what you do?
We typically shoot, so most people are comfortable with when we shoot just after the baby comes out. So
okay.
It's really when you kind of capture those more like time life moments of when the baby's, right when the baby's born is when most people would like to start.
Well, that's cool. So a little bit about you. So how long have you been doing this photography in general?
I've been doing photography in general for almost 30 years.
Wow.
Our company now is 3 years old itself, but I have been involved with photography for about 30 years now.
Okay, so 3 years ago, you started your own company.
Right.
And before you worked for a bigger company, or you worked for the man, or what?
Before, for lack of a better term, I worked for the man. I was kind of in corporate America, and it was always my ambition to own my own company and be an entrepreneur. And you can only go so far in corporate America in doing that because you're kind of always within somebody's structure. And, for lack of a better term, I tell people you always have to raise your hand and ask to go to the bathroom.
Right.
And when you're an entrepreneur and you own your own, you have that flexibility and that freedom to be able to, move and adjust as you see fit, and have the flexibility to take care of your family the way you see fit.
Correct. But a lot of us entrepreneurs misunderstand that when we talk about freedom, that we're talking about, I'm going to have my own hours. I'm going to wake up at 10 o'clock every morning, But that is the opposite, isn't it?
It's the total opposite. You work as hard, if not a lot harder.
Right.
It's just your reward from an emotional standpoint, as well as a spiritual standpoint, for me, has been far greater. If you want to get and find out how far you can push your limits and the things that you're blessed with from God, it has to be entrepreneurship will definitely test every aspect of you.
So let me ask you this. So 3 years ago, you decide, okay, I'm going to become an entrepreneur. I'm going to open up my own business. I'm tired of working for the man. I'm tired of raising my hand to go to the bathroom. I'm going to do it on my own, right?
Right.
And so what prompted that decision? Because there comes a time, right? There's a specific time during the day, right, that something clicks, and it kind of tells you, all right, this is what I'm going to do. Honey, I'm going on business for myself. Tell me about that moment.
You know what? That moment comes, it came for me. My wife and I, we started the discussion probably about 5 years prior. And it started at that time because as our children were getting a little bit older and the sports activities, and I never wanted to miss any opportunities with my children. Those are opportunities and times that you don't get back.
Sure.
Each one is so unique. You don't get a second chance at
Sure.
it. So some of those things are really, what sparked that opportunity for me, and that drive even more so. Beyond that, I always just had more of a passion and an understanding inside myself that said, I really want to push and try to achieve all of what I'm blessed with, and to really fully utilize all the talents and the gifts that I'm blessed with, and entrepreneurship was one of the best ways to be able to take advantage of it.
But take me to that moment. So you started planning 5 years before you actually made that move, but there was a moment.
You know what? There is a defining moment. You know, I got up one day and I had gone to work, and you know what? It wasn't really like the most challenging day, but sometimes you get to a point of where you just say, I'm better than this.
Yeah.
There's got to be more, and there's got to be more of a drive, and there's more of a challenge that I'm interested in. And you can sacrifice so much sometimes for a lot of other people, but the sacrifice for yourself and for your family comes to be so great that it kind of just draws you and pulls you in. And just in that particular day, you know, I really made up my mind, and I just said, you know, I'm gonna go for broke.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna, you know, as hard as I sacrifice for anybody else, I'm gonna be an even greater sacrifice for my family and for myself to be successful. And then it's the best opportunity to inspire your children, even in the way my children look at life. And you know, now I have a son who's in college, and I have a daughter who's in junior high school, and my children are not in a rush to get out of school to go get jobs. They're in a rush to get out of school to go start their futures.
Do you think that, because I got a couple of kids, one graduated from college also, and the other one will graduate next year, and I think that their mentality is much different than when you and I was going to college, right? I mean,
absolutely.
And you said it right. I mean, they're looking forward to starting a future, not so much to go, oh, I'm going to go into corporate America. I think that they're looking more to, all right, I want to do something with my life for myself, right?
Yeah, their outlook's totally different. They have a much greater, I think they have a much greater confidence in themselves, and they relish the challenge of being able to rely on your own instincts and your own abilities, and that strength that says, I got to take all of these ingredients that I'm blessed with and find a way to turn them into this grandiose cake that I know I can make and that I believe I can make, and I'm willing to accept all the rises and falls and the challenges and obstacles that come with it. But out of it all, I see nothing but opportunity that I can go forward and relish in.
Got it. Talking about challenges, how do you deal with stress? Because of course, I'm sure you don't have any stress in your business, right? I mean, you're probably the only.
There's never any.
I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, and everybody's like, you know, they're looking at me and like, are you kidding me? We all have stress. How do you deal with your stress?
You know what? I have a very great spiritual background, very strong in our faith. My family and I, we keep 3 priorities in our household and in our lives. We keep, and in this order, God, family, and education. And that education piece, label it education, because no matter how old you get or how advanced you might be or how great you might be, you never stop learning.
Right.
The moment you stop learning, you start dying. And so we keep those 3 priorities, and everything that doesn't pertain or is not directly affecting one of those priorities at any given time, we really try to make a decision real quick to sever that, because it becomes a waste of time for us. So that helps to alleviate some stress. Does it make you stress free? Of course, because there's always going to be a fair amount of stress when everything that you do is solely reliant upon every decision you make every single day. And your ability to be able to satisfy your customer on a consistent basis. And I would say right now, from a stress standpoint, it's the time, the quality time that I spend with my family. It's the quality time I spend and where we never really try to take any moment for granted when we're with friends. You know, when you have those great opportunities and you can share a success in your business, when you can share a success in your growth as a person, those are the times that you can always recall on that really help you to kind of dissipate your stress so much so. And they make it, at some point they make the stress enjoyable because it's a balance in this life, and you know you need that stress to understand and appreciate, you know, that growth and that success when that comes from it.
When you started your business, I'm sure you had a base or a number of people that you knew that perhaps became your clients, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and so now, how do you get your clients? How do you mine for new clients?
Clients, The vast majority of our clients still come from a referral basis, which is one of the things that I'm most proud of as a business owner. When you can have, someone refer your business and that word of mouth, and that testimony from someone else that sparks another person to come and do business with you. It's really the same way that I came to be a customer and a client here and a member at the Office Pile. Someone else, and I was able to observe their experience here, which was so great. And then I had an opportunity to see more and more people, which really was kind of a no-brainer when I had the opportunity to base my office out of the location here.
I appreciate that. So you are, where is your business now? Are you in a growth mode, or are you happy where you are? Are you always thinking, how can I expand my business, or are you kind of just satisfied?
No, I am always in, how can I expand? I'm always about what's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah. And I still come from that school of business where you're either growing or you're dying. And I always want to continue to grow and to press forward. And I'm always looking for, at that next junction in the road where you might be traveling straight and it's time to pivot and go another direction.
Sure.
And to continue to grow with that. And I really look forward to those opportunities, because those are the ones that are a little more challenging sometimes. And to some degree in business, they're a little more risky, because, you can go left or you can go right. And either one's going to present some opportunities and either one's going to present some obstacles. Some might be greater than others, but that's the interesting part about being an entrepreneur, that you get to experience all of that. And it's so much of it you shoulder.
Is there a photo shoot that stands out in your 30 years in the business that you go like, I will never forget this chance, this photo op that I had?
You know what? One of the things that I really enjoy, and there's moments that I think are so pure, and when I have the opportunity to, there's two things I really enjoy. I enjoy weddings, because I think that's one of the greatest unions that you could experience. But the thing that I enjoy the most, that I've had the opportunity to photograph, has been that defining moment right after a child's born, and that doctor and everybody's covered up. And the moment's so pure because everybody is covered at that point. And when a baby's born, the first thing they do is take the baby, and they have that instant contact with the mother where it's flesh to flesh. Yeah. And that moment itself is so inspirational. It's so defining and so groundbreaking. And that's probably some of the most powerful things that I experience when I photograph people.
Well, that's cool. I thought you were going to tell me, oh yeah, it was the time that I went to the Playboy Mansion and I just had to. I was waiting for something like that. But no, hey, look. No,
well, those are so passe for me. That's just an everyday run-of-the-mill life right there.
So 3 years in your business, you're happy with your business, and we're definitely happy to have you here as a member of the Office Pile. So where do you see your business growing, say within the next 3-5 years? Where do you see yourself? Where would you like to see yourself at?
The next 3 to 5 years, I would like to ultimately have a full-fledged building where you have your own studio. But I would like to have something kind of in conjunction with what the Office Pile does, where you kind of have a shared space. And in this industry, I think there's so many photographers that miss out on the opportunity to be able to shoot in so many different areas of the business. A lot of people I know shoot on location only because they don't have an indoor facility where they can go to, where you can kind of control lights and create a different atmosphere. And there's not a lot of places and a lot of business for that to be able to do so. And the people who can afford to have a studio are very fortunate and blessed to do so. But I think as a photographer, and to grow in your passion and your business and to really be able to take full advantage, you really need to be able to do both. So I would like to be able to have and provide a service to people who can do that and kind of have that shared space and that shared opportunity for something similar to the office pile.
A co-working space for photographers and artists, which
Absolutely.
is just a phenomenal concept, and maybe something to explore in the future. As you can see, things fly in here into the show, and for being a guest of our show today, look at this, my friend.
I greatly appreciate that.
We're gonna give you a T-shirt. We're gonna hook you up, man.
I appreciate it.
And I
Thank you very
appreciate you.
much.
Yeah, I really appreciate you as a member and all the things that you're doing. Really thank you. I appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you.
And for that, we're out.